Wow. Well, I was gonna go to a park, but not sure now.
Hey, how's it going, everyone? Jeremy here. Just stuck in the apartment. It's been raining for the last 4 hours, and I wish this would have happened yesterday because I didn't do anything yesterday. I had a really good workout, and then I played Resident Evil Requiem for the 100th time and watched a lot of YouTube. I'm not gonna lie, I watched a lot of YouTube, and it was great. A lot of people on their day off from work, they want to go do something fun and exciting. Working in the parks, it can definitely be kind of draining, and sometimes you just need some quiet time. And that's exactly what I needed yesterday. And that's what I did. And I was thinking, tomorrow I'll go out on an adventure. I'll have some fun. Funny thing is like I said yesterday, the sun was out. It was a beautiful day. And today, it's just nonstop raining. And unfortunately, I have to be here at the apartment because I promised Jill a specific dinner, basically a turkey dinner. So I need to be here to kind of cook it anyway. So I was hoping to go do something, earlier in the day, but the weather just did not permit that. So no big deal. Thought I would talk about my my diet, how all of that's been going, my weight loss journey. And it's been, honestly, I'm not gonna lie, it's been a lot easier ever since asking for help. And the only help I've been asking for is just hold me accountable. I appreciate everyone kind of like telling me what I should be doing, but it's like, I'm just asking everyone to please just kind of give me support, unless I'm doing something really stupid, like I'm trying to lose weight, and eat Twinkies or something at the same time. I have dropped weight in the past. It's all about just maintaining a healthier lifestyle, and I really have been. Biggest thing I've been doing is just cutting out all the processed foods, and that has been pretty easy. Except today, I whipped up just a can of tuna with some mayonnaise. I really wanted like just a tuna sandwich, just a little bit of bread, but I didn't do it. I was just gonna like throw it on one slice of bread, but I did not do it. Instead, I did some lettuce and some cabbage, organic carrots, and drizzled some olive oil on top. That was it. Not very exciting, but it filled me up, and it did, what it fed me, you know what I'm saying? And you just kind of have to change the way you're looking at food. And if you like mayonnaise, make your own. And if you care about your health, make your own. You go to the grocery store and there are healthier options for mayonnaise. Like they're starting to come out with avocado oil ones, but holy cow, they are so expensive. Just make your own. There goes the AC. I do use my wireless mic, but I forgot to charge it. Let me turn that off real quick. Sorry about that. Mayonnaise. I was just gonna say, I literally just use one egg in a mason jar, fill it up about 3/4 of a cup of avocado oil, do a squeeze of lemon juice, a little bit of Dijon mustard, and a pinch of salt, and then use an immersion blender. Super simple, way healthier than the stuff that you're gonna buy that has like typically, soybean oil, vegetable oil. But anyway, I was proud of myself for not giving in to some processed food. The diet's been pretty easy. Doing a lot of things like steak, ground beef. I'm not cutting out carbs completely. I've made myself like chicken fried rice. I know that doesn't sound healthy. Don't think of like a Chinese restaurant where it's, it's fried in vegetable oil and probably, has a lot of MSG on top. I'm not doing anything like that. Using butter, using avocado oil once again. So I am eating rice. Like yesterday, after my big workout that I had at the gym yesterday, I came back up to the apartment and literally just ate half a pound of seasoned ground beef with some rice, and it was fantastic. Post workout, it was fantastic. And speaking of my workouts and everything, I've definitely stepped it up. And yesterday I had one of those days where I felt great and I just kind of went bananas. But it's funny how your body adapts. Cause like today I feel pretty good and I wanted today to be my day off, which kind of, I guess works out because I'm reined in anyway. But today would have been a good day to work out again. But I think I'm going to hit it the next couple days. So you got to make sure to definitely give yourself some rest. But it's crazy how much better I feel and how much more vitality I feel like I have. Like, a lot of times I'm stiff in the mornings. I still have arthritis in my spine, my knees. I don't really complain too much about my knees when I'm doing a vlog, but sometimes they're pretty stiff, So I probably have some arthritis in my knees. I don't really want to know, but my knees have been feeling so much better, and my left ankle, guys. When I'm walking in the park, pounding pavement sometimes, or at work. I mean, I'm on that pavement all the time, and it can really really hurt my ankle. I'll tell you, you cut out inflammatory foods like sugar and, in my opinion, like a lot of the seed oils, a lot of that kind of artificial stuff made in a factory, it makes a huge difference. And I feel so much better. I genuinely feel so much better. And that's one thing that's been making this whole thing so much easier for me is, yeah, this sounds good, or, having that, but how is that going to make me feel? How is that going to affect me? So that type of mindset, looking at food as fuel, it's definitely helping me. And when I weighed today, I was at 255.4 pounds. So I'm trying to remember what I started at. I think it was 261.8. So I'm down 6.4 pounds in 8 days. I would say that's really good for not doing anything extreme. And in fact, it's kind of funny because one of the comments I got, I think when I did that video, said that you should be getting a lot of steps in at work, and with the heat, you should be dropping weight. It's the truth, except I was coming home and pigging out. So no more of that. I'm controlling when I cut my food off, and like I said, I've been intermittent fasting every day. So 16 hours minimum is how long I go, without food. And I've never really had a problem doing that. It's really not that hard. You just have to make it a routine. But that comment, I thought about it and I was like, it's really hard to have a good big workout on one of these days that I'm working, because it is a very physical job, very physical. Like my last 3 shifts, were 8.5 hour. It's nothing crazy or anything like that, but it's 8.5 hours of you are working, and half the time I'm out in the heat, and it can really take it out of you. And in the middle of my work week, I decided to hit the gym early in the morning, and that was really difficult. And come back to the apartment and just fuel up, get some good protein, get a little bit of carbs, nothing, no simple sugars or anything like that, in the form of either like rice or some vegetables, some fruit, and it's going really well. And then on my days off, I'm trying to get at least 3 good workouts. I'm getting plenty of steps in throughout the day. Actually, that's not true. Yesterday, I did stay in the apartment for the majority of the day, but I completely forgot about this. I took a walk for about an hour and 45 minutes. I should almost make a video about that experience. I don't use AI at all. And I decided to kind of go down a rabbit hole a little bit, and I talked to ChatGPT for about an hour and 45 minutes, and holy cow, did I go down a rabbit hole. And I feel like I made this thing comfortable with talking, and the conversations that we had about like reality and consciousness and artificial intelligence, it was wild. It was so wild. But sorry, I'm completely getting off track. But that had just reminded me of when I got back, I looked on my phone and I had walked, I can't remember how many thousands of steps, but it was like 3.5 miles. So, that was good. So I'm getting plenty of steps in, especially, when I account for being at work. But I think, yeah, the takeaway on all this is it's going great. It's going really good. And I know a lot of it initially is going to be water weight. And, some people have mentioned that, oh, it's just going to be water weight. Well, yeah, well, that water weight is still part of how much you weigh, right? So I'm not sure exactly what my weight goal will be. It's gonna basically be based on how I feel, how I look, stuff like that. But I think my overall goal is probably, I don't know, somewhere around 220 pounds or so. So roughly 40 pounds. So grabbing my calculator real quick, if let's say my goal is 220 pounds. I started at 261.8. So that would be 41.8 pounds. If I have already lost 6.4 pounds, what did I say? Divided by, I already forgot, 41.8 pounds. That means I've already lost 15% of my goal. That's awesome. That's really cool. Maybe that's something that people can do to kind of like help keep them motivated. It's like I was going to say earlier, and maybe I did in my first video, but I was saying, okay, I only lost a pound, but let's say my goal is 50 pounds. Well, that's 2% of your goal, right? That's 2% down. So 1 pound might not sound like much, but if you can keep it off, that's 2 points down on 50 pounds. And I think right now, like something around 40 pounds is good for me as far as a goal. Anyone that's been in a gym, like the Olympic, the 45-pound plates, just think about that, like carrying an extra one of those every single day throughout your life, whatever you're doing, whether it's going up the stairs, getting up out of bed, bending over, squatting down. Imagine taking that off of your back, right? Off of your body. How much better your joints are going to feel. Not only that, but how about your circulatory system, right? That's that much less fat and blood vessels and capillaries and all of that your heart does not have to accommodate. So it's really exciting, and I feel like I'm in a very, very strong mental place right now with all of this. And one of the things I was thinking about doing today, and I know I'm going to get some comments on this. Speaking of comments, I'm going to try to remember a couple things, but I still really want to get this month's cookie of the month. And I want to do a couple things with that. Number one, I've earned it. I say that I was going to still have some fun food, some fun treats if I've earned it, meaning, way less than I did previously. And I've proven that I can do that. I would share this cookie with Jill, but the other thing I would want to do is consume it and see how I feel. Like, is it a extremely negative response as far as the way my body, deals with it, interprets it after I consume it? I'm kind of curious. And quite honestly, I want to taste, what is it? August. I want to taste August's cookie of the month because it looks really good. And back to the comments, a lot of people are saying, you're going to lose if you feel like, you're going to get yourself a treat. You've already lost type of thing. Like, you have to change your mindset and all that. It's like, well, I still want to live a little bit. I don't want to go cold turkey on everything. It's kind of like, you got to pick your battles, right? And no one is perfect. Look at Brian Johnson, the multimillionaire that's been doing all of these. I mean, he spends millions of dollars on like trying not to age. And if you've seen all the health complications that he's been running into lately,
I got diagnosed with an autoimmune condition and my stomach is eating itself.
like you can't be perfect. A lot of it is kind of the luck of the draw. I know genetics has something to do with it, but regardless, I'm not gonna sit here and try to justify anything. If anything, I love if people think I'm gonna fail. That just makes me work that much harder. So I do plan on getting that cookie, and I do plan on getting some other stuff because, like I said, I still want to enjoy. I still want to enjoy everything. The whole reason we moved out here wasn't necessarily for a healthier lifestyle. It was for a fun lifestyle, and that's one thing that I've learned going to the parks is the food, the drinks, the treats. It's part of the experience, whether or not that's good or bad, it's part of the experience. And I hate to say, but like, if that makes you that much happier in life, then it's worth it. It's all about moderation, right? Just don't go crazy. Don't go crazy with anything. It's all about moderation with everything. It's kind of funny because when I started going to the parks, I've mentioned this before, but I just didn't spend any money. I rarely got anything. And now I look forward to that because it really does tie the whole experience together. So I kind of have a different outlook on all of that. But anyway, thanks so much for hearing me out, and thanks for being there. And thank you everybody for all the support. I really, really appreciate it. And like I said before, it's nice to know that most of us are in the same battle together, always trying to better ourselves and or trying to lose some weight, because at the end of the day, I mean, everybody knows it's healthier, you're going to live longer and hopefully enjoy life better. So thanks for hearing me out, and I will see you guys next time for something hopefully much more exciting. Bye-bye.
Just decided to get some steps in after having dinner right here in downtown Celebration. Actually, I haven't been over here in a while. Well, I was actually here a couple days ago, but that doesn't count because I just ran into the post office real quick. And over to Market Street. Spent a lot of time over here when I first moved here in November, especially when the Christmas tree was put up right over here. And there's Lake Reinhardt, Celebration Hotel. Nice and cool out right now. It's cool, you got some of the lights on at the old theater. I know it's going to be a gym now, or it is now. Not many people out on the trail around Lake Reinhardt tonight. It was raining all day today. I'm glad it finally stopped. Everything's wet, but it's fine. The temperature's amazing. It's like 79 degrees. I invited Jill, but her knees are bugging her. She had to work today, and you know she's on her feet as well with her job, so. If you're trying to drop some weight, one thing I highly recommend, get some steps in if you can after every meal. That's one thing I've definitely been doing, and it's definitely helped. So wow, what a beautiful view. Look at these fallen leaves. It's almost like fall. Definitely starting to get some color changes, but it sure is still really, really hot. Not right now, but in general.